Welcome to another adventure with Getting Lost. Today, we are visiting Pasir Ris Town Park, which most people call a treasured green lung, but what I call it is actually a nice, small little 14-hectare park within the Pasir Ris housing estate. So join me after the intro as we explore this park. Welcome back. We are now at Pasir Ris Town Park. Like I said, it's a park within the Pasir Ris housing estate. It has a wide open space. It's right beside the Tampines River or Sungai Tampines. It has fitness corners. It has a playground. It has another interesting feature which I will mention later. And there are also lots and lots of nice tall green trees here. And as we walk across here, you can actually see the Tampines River or the Sungai Tampines, which runs just beside the park. And as you look here at the waters here, there is actually a grey heron, and it looks so still that I thought that it was actually a decoy or actually an artificial bird. But as I actually walked past the bird actually moved and got spooked by me and flew away. So that was actually a grey heron. Look at that. It was so still that I thought that it was actually a fake bird, but it's actually a real bird. And anyway, we're going to head in there to look for the next feature, the special feature of this park, which is called the Pasir Ris Town Park. And here it is. The interesting feature about this park is you actually have a large marine pond here. Yes, this is actually a marine pond. A pond created in the park for people to do fishing. And in the distance itself is also the Pasir Ris Sports Center and the Pasir Ris Center Hawker Center, which is the second hawker center that's actually open in a park. But we're not going to visit the hawker center this round. What we're going to do is we're just going to visit the park, and we're going to go all the way to the sea. But look at that. They actually made a they actually made a pond for people to fish. And look at that. Even though it's a hot day, there are still people fishing in the pond, which I find it totally amazing. And there's also some restaurants right over there. But still, people are actually fishing in this pond itself. Look at it. There are many people here fishing. Can you imagine an artificial lake, an artificial pond made for people to fish in a residential area? And I don't understand why people go and fish and in front of the Merlion when you have facilities like this here. And look at this tree. I'm not sure which type of tree this is, but the last time I saw this type of tree was at the botanical garden. But still, I'm fascinated by the fishing pond. And in the background, you can actually see all the HDB flats too. And look at that, the pond itself. And in the background itself, you can also see HDB flats. And this is another bridge that's crossing the Tampines River. And if you keep heading down that direction, we will finally reach Pasir Ris Park. So the basic landmark of our trip today is actually the Tampines River. And this road here is actually Pasir Ris Drive 3. And on the right is actually downtown east. And so we're going to cross the road here. And once we cross the road, we'll actually be at Pasir Ris Park. And here we actually have what's called a wearable Solidity Plant. And what this place does is actually separates the salty water from the fresh water. And this is the instrument that they use to do that. So over here is actually all the salty water. Behind us is the fresh water. And we're just going to keep heading straight down. Like I said here, fresh water, salty water. And then behind there is actually downtown east. And we just keep heading down here, this direction. And this bridge, as you can see, is a wooden bridge, which is actually part of the Pasir Ris Park. And from the bridge itself, we can actually have a good view of the Tampines River. And on the side, Mangrove Swamp. And you can also see some pillars here that was probably used to be an old bridge, which no longer exists anymore. Look, we have another grey heron. And this grey heron is fishing, looking for food. But still, look at that. Natural mangrove swamps and a nice river, and it's high tide somehow. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we're going to try to look for a broad walk, which actually will take us all the way to the sea. And there's a small little park here, and here is actually, as you can see, is a mangrove swamp. But unfortunately, the boardwalk itself is actually under some maintenance, so we are not able to go there. But what we're going to do is we're going to walk through this small little area here, which is called, which is actually just a small pond. And there's actually another monitor lizard, a water lizard here at the small little pond. And this pond is actually a good place for you to come to actually look for birds. Anyway, so since we couldn't go on the broad walk, which is under renovation, so we will have to actually cross the bridge here and walk along the river until we reach the sea and the first part of Pasir Ris Park. And Pasir Ris Park is a very huge park. It's, if I'm not mistaken, it's around 6.6 kilometers long. So we're just gonna go to the first part of the park, and then I don't think we will cover most of the park this round here, but what we will do is we will just walk along beside the river until we reach the sea, and then we will continue in the next episode. And here itself, the grey heron still looking for food, as you can see. So this is a pathway which is just beside the river. On my left is all trees, and then some mangrove, and then the river, which is Tampines River. And if we just keep walking straight, and on my right is actually downtown east. And as you just keep walking straight, we'll finally hit the sea. And that's where we end our adventure today. So, we have seen lots of greeneries, we have passed by 2 parks, but we have not ended our adventure yet. we are still on our adventure. So I hope you enjoyed it so far. I'm showing you the natural wonders, the green wonders of Singapore. Hope you enjoyed it. And because of that, please do me a favor, help to like my video, share my video, and subscribe to my channel. And also tell your friends and families to do the same, because this is important information for them. Lastly, but the most important thing, the thing that you must do is to join me for my next adventure. Really, there'll be more to come. And see you then. Until then, bye bye.